So today's video is about making slightly larger envelopes than the envelope punch board gives you the measurements for and allows for on the scoring guide. This is a 7 1/4 by 7 3/4, 7 3/4 envelope, I think. So 7 3/4, yeah, by 7 1/4. And I made this with the envelope punch board and a little bit of help from a website, which I will give the website address for as we go along. But it is possible to make slightly bigger envelopes than the envelope punch board gives you the details for. So especially as I think 7 by 7 cards, and you know, where do we go up to? We go up to 6 by 8.5, which is quite big, but you know, a lot of people make 7 by 7 cards. I haven't quite been able to figure out how I would do an 8 by 8 because the size of paper you need is larger than A3, and the largest paper I have is A3, so I can't quite work that one out yet. But if you could stick two pieces of paper together, but you need to be careful where you're going to put the join, because it might be a bit unsightly. Or you could put a cover, you know, if it's right across the middle of or anywhere across the front of, or you know, in display. You could either make a feature of it, I guess, or you could put a cover, a topper over the join. But for now, you know, I think 7 by 7 is a fairly standard size of card, so I was going to stick with that, and I was going to do that. As I say, this one is a little bit bigger than that, but that's what we'll do. That's what I was going to do for this video with 7 by 7. So I've got my A3 piece of paper, which I will just get the measurements for what size I need. So I'll move my scoreboard and yeah. So the the website I go to get the measurements is called the Crafty Owl. I think it's .co.uk. I think she's a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So she has a couple of great pages on her blog which give the measurements for larger envelope, or for envelopes for the punch board, but there's no limit to the size, so it means you can go above the 6 by 8.5 inch, or if you have the centimetre, the metric board, you can go above that. But she also has, and I'll do that in another video, measurements to work out how to do a box envelope, and I'm going to come to that in another video. But for today, this is about the larger envelopes, so I will just get the measurements from the website for a 7 by 7 card, and then I will be back. Right, okay, so I have checked, and apparently I need a piece of paper that is 11 1/8 by 11 1/8. Sorry, what I should just say, I decided I was going to do an envelope at 7 1/8 square, so that there was a little bit of allowance for the card. So in case it's got embellishments on, or it's exactly 7 by 7. So for that I need a piece of paper 11 1/8 by 11 1/8 inches. Okay, if you can see that, which I'll cut down in a moment, and I need to score at 5. The first score, I should make that clear for those who are not familiar with how the punch board works. The first score will be at 5 5/8, which anyone with the punch board will know you cannot do as it is, because it only goes up to 5. So we are going to make a little ruler that will help us do that. So firstly, I'll cut down my piece of paper to 11 1/8. Right. Okay, so that's our paper. We've got that at 11 1/8 by 11 1/8. So we're going to put that to one side for now. Then we need a scoreboard. So you will need a scoreboard that has, well, I'm working in imperials, so inches and 1/8 of inches. You will need a scoreboard that has 1/8 of inches. You can extend it metric, but I haven't done the calculations for that. So, but you should be able to do it in the same way as if you work by metric. You should be able to do something similar, working out or making yourself a little metric ruler that will extend your punch board. So you just need to use your metric scoreboard in the same way. So right, so what you will need is, doesn't need to be too wide, it doesn't actually need to be too long, but you'll need a scrap of paper that's about 5-6 inches long, and you then need to score every 1/8 of an inch. And yeah, and then when you've done that, you will have, where is it? Okay, right, so when you've done that, you will have something that looks like this. I've cut this down to be about 1 1/4 wide, 1 1/4 inches wide, and about 6 inches long, but I could cut it down a bit more to be fair. And then I've got a piece of removable tape, Scotch tape, and I can place it at the end over the 4 when I want to do larger envelopes, and I have extended my scoreboard, if you can see that. So that means I can bring back in my piece of paper, get rid of that. I can bring back in my paper, I can line this up. I haven't actually got the 5/8, but I can see it's between, you know, the 3/4, the half and the 3/4, and I can put in my score line. Now, as with doing the larger envelopes, make sure I've got this right, half, yeah, 5/8, that's the right one, isn't it? Yeah. So as with doing even the larger envelopes, you will need, or it would be helpful to have a scoreboard just to put in your scores that are a bit longer than the punch board. So I'm going to line this up best I can, try and feel for the, if I'm following the right line. Yeah, and then put in my score. Take that away for a moment, and then punch the next line, and I'm going to do that all the way around as I would any other envelope. Right, okay, so that is my envelope. Now let's just see. Yeah, it's a bit bigger than, it's actually 7¼ by 7¼ so it's a little bit bigger, but that's fine. That means I can do envelopes for 7×7 cards, so there we go. I hope people who have got the punch board and never seen that before, I hope they find that helpful. So yeah, then as I say, next time I will I will revisit the punch board to do a box envelope and direct you to the Crafty Owl's website, blog page, where she gives a handy little tool to calculate the measurements. So right, I hope you found that helpful, and see you in the next video. Bye.